So we just chatted with Mike Mayock, the general manager of the Las Vegas Raiders, Deion Sanders and Matthew McConaughey, the Pro Football Hall of Famer and Academy Award winner, respectively. Those are our third-hour guests. So we turn to the phone lines right here, and if you're on hold, stay on hold at 844-204-RICH. We will take your calls before the end of this hour. The freshly retired Pro Bowl, All-Pro offensive lineman of your defending NFC champion San Francisco 49ers, Joe Staley, calling into the program. How are you, Joe?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
I'm fine. So are you already overeating? I mean, how quickly does somebody go from playing to retiring, basically, in the NFL?
Actually, the opposite. I'm pretty quickly getting into the weight loss.
What do you mean?
Realm.
So you're going.
Oh man,
you're going the other direction. You're going Joe Thomas?
Yeah,
are you going Joe Thomas on me right now?
Yeah, I think every offensive lineman's dream as they're playing football and you start playing for a long time is just like how much you miss being able to be at a healthy, normal weight and trying to lose pounds. And I'm right now on that weight loss journey. So I am shedding right now. I'm just shedding. I'm very into Peloton right now.
So really,
everybody is probably right now.
So what's your Peloton name in case somebody goes in the room and they see what your name is?
I am Chip Chip74JS.
Okay.
And that is Chip for the Chippewas for my Central Michigan. So I wanted to make a name that was inconspicuous because I don't want people to, But now I've told everybody, so
I mean,
they can race me on there.
So if they see what's your Peloton name again? Chip, what is it?
Chip,
yes.
74JS.
Okay, so Chip for Chippewa, 74 your uniform name, and JS for Joe Staley. There it is.
Yep, that's me.
We just cracked the code.
Cracked the code.
Oh,
yeah, I'm just I've had it for about 30 days now.
Okay.
So,
there you go.
Very into it.
Very good.
Get on the bike.
Why did you decide to hang him up, Joe?
It just was a time for me and a good decision for me and the family. I was this last year. It was pretty documented. I missed the most games that I had missed in my whole career last year with the broken leg and the finger, but that I had surgery on. And then I had this thing in my neck that I was kind of dealing with towards the end of the year. And it kind of gradually got worse and worse. And then once the Super Bowl was happening, and kind of came to a head during that game. And then, so I realized I was going to have to talk to a lot of doctors after the season was done. And then once I did, got a bunch of different opinions, and, it just wasn't really favorable. So, I kind of just weighed everything and decided that the time was now. But set the deadline of the draft to make a final decision because that was really important to me. The Niners were in a good position to kind of move forward, and that wasn't going to be screwing them over or anything with my decision. So really excited that they were able to land Trent. Pretty seamless transition there.
My gosh,
they got.
I know, and that's I guess my question to you is how much heads up did you give the 49ers so they could get in that in the hunt for Trent Williams?
Yeah, so it was they knew everything was going on, and I was talking to doctors, and they were involved in that whole entire process and everything. But as far as like an actual 100% decision, this is what's going to happen. I told John and Kyle basically the week before the draft. I was like, "Hey, I'll have a decision for you 100% then." So I think they were making contingency plans. I don't want to speak for them, but I knew that they were probably doing feelers out there and stuff and getting stuff rolling on that front. And then once I told them, they kind of moved forward and were able to get the deal done.
Joe Staley, right here on the Rich Eisen Show, fresh off his retirement from the National Football League. So the guys you played with, who do you think of from your career that you think stands out, Joe?
There's so many that I was able to play with in memories. But, the guys I always come back to thinking about is just Frank Gore, number one in my list, just because of the impact that, I think he knows now because I've made a point of telling him over the years about how much of an impact that he had on my career, just watching him when I was coming in as a rookie. He was fresh off a 1,600-yard rushing season. He was the man of the franchise. And just seeing the way that he worked every single day just kind of like set the example of what a pro athlete and an NFL player is and how you got to act and behave to to make what you want to make out of your career. And so he had a huge impact on. Then we became, really close friends, and still the same way today. Just getting to practice against Justin Smith every day just made me such a better player. Him and Alden at the same time. I was kind of entering my prime of my career there, and being able to go against those guys every single day in practice just made me so much better. And then just, a bunch of different players that you just get to meet over the years, and compete against, and, big moments, and, also just being able to go to a Pro Bowl and see all the guys that you just looked up to your whole entire life, and meeting them and being around their families. There's a ton of great memories.
Well, I think Frank Gore is a Hall of Famer, Joe. I don't think there's any question about it. Yeah, you didn't even stutter right there. I mean, what do you mean, what he taught you? I mean, because, again, there's a lot of people who think Frank isn't that impactful because he's just been around for so long. That's his most impactful thing that he's done as a career in his career, is that his longevity. But I'd love to give you the floor and what that means to you.
I think part of that is because of Frank's personality. I think Frank is never going to be a guy that's going to, puff his own chest out and give himself publicity. He's a guy that just kind of goes to work every single day. And that is part of it, getting your name out there and being a guy that people talk about all the time. And he's an under the radar guy. And, I think just his longevity, I think that's not something to be held against him. I think that's something to be celebrated, because at that position, it is incredibly hard to be year in and year out consistent. And I think that was what I learned the most from him, is like what it takes to be a consistent football player, and not just someone that has 2-3 good years, but to be a Hall of Fame player your whole entire career. You have to work a certain way. And seeing him be on the field an hour before practice started, going through an intense workout every single day, whether it's getting ready for a playoff game or if it was in, the middle of May, he took every single day super serious. He made a point of learning every single aspect of our offense that we were running, not just what he was doing and what his responsibilities were, but, how is a guard attacking this 3 technique? What's the center's calls on his pass protections? He left no stone unturned, and I think that was, just something that stuck with me forever, is that it's not just about what you're doing, it's about what the whole entire team's doing, and how can we get better from that aspect. And
before I let you go, Joe, tell me a good Jimmy G story about why you think he's the man for the future here. So much conversation about the postseason and how much running was done, and obviously how successful that was. And it was done because Jimmy G wasn't as effective throwing it. That was at least a narrative, and certainly the Super Bowl, where there was a play that to be made potentially towards the end of the game that was a possible game winner. So his effectiveness is front and center for a lot of conversation. I'd love to give you the floor here.
Yeah, Jimmy's been nothing but unbelievable since the day he got in there. I mean, he worked incredibly hard to learn the entire offense. He was put in a position where he was kind of looked at as like, hey, you're going to be the savior of our franchise right now, because, we need you to step in. And he came in, won his 5 games, and then the season that we had last year was an unbelievable ride, and he was a huge part of the reason why we were in the position we were, why we got a first-round bye. He completely won multiple games during that regular season for us just by his own, arm and, the playmaking ability. As far as the playoff games goes, that's just what we felt like going into the games was, we were going to attack those, especially the Packer game. Those guys off the edge. If you just give them the opportunity, we're going to throw the ball 30, 40 times in the game. It's really hard to, kind of hold up the entire course of the game. So we felt the best plan of attack, and it was working. I think it's you go in with a plan of attack and you adjust. Kyle's really good at that. But it was working. We were gaining explosive plays left and right. And so, it wasn't a position where we had to control the clock and squeak out 20, 21 points a game. We were able to score a ton of points, and is what got us to the Super Bowl. And then, in the Super Bowl, I think, Jimmy would like to have some of those plays back. We all would like to have some of those plays back, and that's what happens when you lose a game. You don't look back fondly on it. So I know it's going to be a huge motivating factor for him our off season, and he's going to be really good coming up.
Joe, thanks for joining. What's next for you other than Peloton riding and hanging with the family?
Peloton riding, losing weight, and just enjoying time down here I'm down in San Diego. So enjoying time with the family, and hopefully, seeing some friends sometime soon. So getting a little stir crazy here at the house. But
I bet.
Doing my part.
Well, if you ever want to talk some ball, you want to get in the paparazzi, if that's the method you want to go for your, if you want to go full Joe Thomas, just give me a call, and I'd love to have you on here and talk some ball with you anytime.
I'm always trying to catch Joe Thomas, man. He's been a guy my whole entire career. I'm always like one step behind him. So, hopefully I can gain him on the weight loss, and then I can try to, figure out how he's so good at every single thing he does.
Okay. I think, what is he? Is he badge 73 JT on Peloton? Is that what he is?
Nice.
Is that what he is?
Oh, is that what he is?
No, I don't know. I'm just making it.
We'll have a little personal conversation.
Take care of yourself, Joe Staley. We'll chat with you soon.
All right. Thank you.
You got it. That's Joe Staley.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.